from the educational side, you know, the people listening to this are thinking, okay, I'm doing marketing, I'm doing sales, I'm doing, you know, digital marketing, paid ads. We're doing lots of different things, and we're trying to figure out what is it that's going to work for us. And we know that content is important. Um, we need to engage our target audience, right? So, yeah, what could you give us? Like, how could you tell us from your vantage point, you know, utilizing the HubSpot model of this educational approach? How could they learn from that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I love the way that you're framing this on the target audience,
Hmm.
because when we think about educational content, that really is where all of it starts. Is like, who are we trying to reach and why? And before we dive into a little bit of that, I'll take a step back and say that educational content comes in a lot of forms.
Okay.
For HubSpot, you have a very traditional educational platform. We've got a HubSpot Academy. You see that in other institutions as well. You see the Coursera's of the world
Hmm.
that are really on that far end of the spectrum. You're taking that to the certification program element. But if you are a smaller business or that's not something that fits with your model, you can still use elements of that strategy. And so if you're thinking about that, you're thinking about your target audience. What is it that you want them to be educated on that's going to support your services or your products? And so, where I often tell people to start if they're thinking about using that educational strategy, it's, well, what are kind of the 2 to 3 main things where your sales reps are getting on calls or you're getting questions in, whatever support inbox that you have? You're just like, I wish I didn't have to answer this question.
Yeah.
Like, I waste time here.
Yeah.
That is a great place to start with educational content.
Okay.
And I really like starting with it too, kind of a little bit wider.
Hmm.
So let's say you've got a few of those. If you create a collection of videos, great. That can be repurposed into your blog content. That can be repurposed into podcasts, into
Yes.
knowledge base articles. And that's one of the main values, particularly for smaller companies with educational content, because it's so easy to replicate and repurpose that it ends up being a little bit of this 1 + 1 = 3 approach. Like,
Hmm.
take some of those questions that are like, oh, I just wish we knew about that, and then start to plug that in to your blogs, your knowledge base, whatever that is, and put it in the hands of your sales reps. Here's a video. It's 5 minutes. It's getting all this good stuff in, and you can just sort of rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
And that also helps you think about, all right, what are we trying to hit with some of these target audiences? You might have a few different flavors of that. And it allows you to start to create some of those, I call them swim lanes. There's a lot of
Hmm.
different terms for them, but some of those swim lanes for your target audiences, and doing some of that initial research of, all right, if we really want to be knowledgeable, HubSpot was knowledgeable in inbound marketing. We crafted this. We wanted to be known as the experts for it. And that's why you see all that educational content on it.
Hmm.
What is that for your business? And how can that really start to jumpstart that flywheel? Is how I like to start to think about it. There's a lot in there, of
Yes.
course, but
Yes.
that's some good sort of starting points that I often recommend.
I like it.